Hello, beautiful people. We are back again. We are live with another special guest, a super special guest actually. She is Caroline, and she is one of our guest expert speakers on the Money Consciousness Method. She is coming to join us for the program to do a guest masterclass, and I'm inviting her on here tonight to have a little chat with us all. So I'm just going to invite her to the live. I love how many of you jump on so promptly. It's like, yep, 8 p.m. we're going live. Here she is.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So good. I'm just going to turn the volume up so I can hear you properly.
Sorry, I've even put makeup on for you.
I've actually just done my eyes again and my lips. What we like. This morning, Caroline and I had a really early morning chat, didn't we? Like 8:30 a.m.
We
and
did.
I think both of us were just a bit like, nah, not for the makeup, not for each other, but for Instagram, all the glam.
Exactly.
All the glam. Love it. So Caroline, tell us, for my audience who don't know you, tell them who they are, what you do, and the amazingness that you create for people in their lives.
Oh, thank you. So I'm Caroline Britton, and I'm a business and mindset coach. And my specialism is helping people transition, I guess, through the fear and usually out of the corporate world into setting up their own business. Somebody who I've got a very interesting story around that is that I came from a corporate background, 14 years in a global consultancy in London, and I understand firsthand how scary it can be, like a lot of entrepreneurs do, to set up on their own. So that's my specialism. It's what I love, it's what I'm good at, and I'm making a big difference to lots of people.
Love it. And this is what you're going to be helping us do as part of the Money Consciousness Method. So you're going to be coming on, doing a masterclass with the two of us, and talking to everyone who's enrolled in the Money Consciousness Method, helping them get from that place of fear into founding their own business, right? That's your Fear to Founder. It's your signature program. So for those people who are joining us on the Money Consciousness Method, what kind of results do you think they can expect from doing the masterclass with you and I? What kind of results have your other clients had from going through this Fear to Founder process with you?
Well, I think we're quite similar, Harriet, aren't we? In that we believe that in order to get any sort of external rewards, you have to do the internal stuff first. So you and I are very good at strategy. We can sit there and we can do all the goal stuff. We can look at all the business side. But actually, that is no use to anybody unless you do all the internal work. So as part of this program, I'm really going to be encouraging people to go into their subconscious and challenge their relationship with all sorts of things, from money to fear, to confidence, to the stories that we tell ourselves. We tell ourselves all the reasons that we can't have things and all the reasons that we don't want. And that is the biggest game changer that I see with my clients, when we can get people focusing on what they do want and applying all the techniques and tricks that you and I know that have helped us build our successful business in order to get there. It makes the biggest difference. And in fact, I can see some of my clients popping up on the live feed as they come, so they know, feel free to comment, any of you that are there, but they know the importance of the mindset and internal work. It's the absolute foundation for getting any sort of change into your life. So we're going to really dive into that during the session I run.
Yeah, it's going to be so good. Without giving away client confidentiality, could you give us a success story of one of your clients? Maybe just change the name so that we don't give them away.
Okay, let's call her Lucy.
Okay.
Oh God, there's loads. So let's talk about. I'm going to talk about somebody who's actually, I think, is on this call, and I think it's a really interesting one. She's actually resigning tomorrow. So Lucy came to me, and she is a senior executive in an advertising company. Right. She came to me when she was expecting her third child. Right. She was the breadwinner of the family, and she was doing a job that just wasn't doing it for her. She was stuck. She felt like she had no option but to stick it out, that it was fine, it was mediocre, you know, all those emotions that we convince ourselves are fine and keep us in our comfort zone. And I've worked with her for about a year, and the transformation in her is unbelievable. So she's gone on to launch the most incredible illustration business. She's now stopped on the high street. She's stopped in Liberty. She's gone from making £79 to, we're predicting a £5,000 income this month coming up. Wow. She's resigned. She is able to pick her kids up when she wants. She is happy, she is fulfilled, and she is like the classic example. And she had all the fears and concerns that everybody else did around capability, confidence. Was it a pipe dream? How would she pay the bills? And she smashed through it, and she's doing unbelievable things.
That's amazing. So you've done the mindset work with her, but you've also done the strategy stuff as well. And you do the energy and the psychic intuitive bit as well, don't you?
Yeah. So I guess, you know, I'm an unusual blend in that I've obviously got a management consultancy background. So I'm good at all the business strategic stuff. But for me, a big part of what I do is the intuitive gift I have. So like you, I have the ability to be able to kind of cut through the crap and cut through just the words that people are presenting me with, and to see beneath it and to see and understand people at a soul level. And it is so helpful. So often, like, my clients will send me little like emojis of witches and stuff, because they're like, how did you know? I'm sure you have this as well. Like, how did you know? Like, how did you know that's how I was feeling? That was my block. So whenever, so for instance, on the Sphere to Founder program I run, the first thing I do is go in and I really look at the blocks that are getting in people's way, whether that's past experiences, stories them telling themselves, attitudes towards money. We clear all of that, and then we can move on to the strategy stuff.
Yeah, I love it. It's absolutely genius. And obviously, Caroline, you've been working with me for how many months now?
Gosh, are we on our like fifth month? It feels a lot longer, but yeah.
It does. Well, it's a soul magnetic contract. It's basically a lifetime sister relationship. We've done this dance many times. We know we have. But yeah, for 4 months, and in that time, we've been doing again a lot of the mindset work, the strategy, the up leveling, the growth expansion. But I think something new for you in your business was introducing the consciousness piece, right? The money consciousness. So can you tell everybody in your experience, so obviously you've gone from fear to founder, and then you've grown your business even more. How has adding the money consciousness bit transformed your business?
Oh my goodness. I mean, like, so for anybody watching, I call Harriet my magic fairy, because the difference that it has made to my, I know she's like, the difference that you have made to my business. So, you know, I've always thought I was pretty good at like all the strategy stuff, and you're obviously like slamming it in your business. So I wanted to work with somebody who was doing amazing things. And, you know, I don't want to embarrass you, but it's been that and so much more, because what you've done is you have got to me at a real conscious level. You know, you've really got in there and you've really challenged me to look at my conditioning, look at the way that I view society, patriarchy, the way that I've been brought up, to really look at my relationship with money. Now, I'd made huge progress there anyway, but what you have done in terms of transforming my attitude towards money consciousness is incredible. And the results speak for themselves. I mean, I will say on this call, I know everybody shies away from money, but for me, you know, I was having pretty consistent sort of 10K months, doing really, really well. And I think the last 3 were getting me towards 50,000 on the last couple of months. You know, the business difference has been absolutely unbelievable. So I would say anybody who's thinking about doing it, it's like a no-brainer. You have to get the money conscious part right, because it's more exposing when you're running or starting a business than your attitude towards money. And if you don't get that bit right, it just comes up time and time again in your business.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you say, because obviously you were aware of me for a long time, because I think we spoke to each other initially a year before we then spoke to each other again, and then we entered into the coaching relationship. What would you say to somebody who's just come across me for the first time, who's not really sure, who's never really dabbled in this money consciousness thing? What would you say to them to help them get off the fence?
So I think that you are really unique, because I think that you're very straight talking, very direct, but you have this amazing capability to be able to explain things that are very, very complex in terms of energy, consciousness in very straightforward terms, which is really digestible. And I think that's really important, is that people, I think they're learning from the best when they come to you. And I think that also the way that you explain and teach information is so succinct. You kind of cut out all the waffle, and I think that's really important to know. And look, I know what it's like. We both do. You and I both had coaches. We know how skeptical we can be, and people make these great claims. But what I would say to everybody is, whenever you're thinking about working with somebody, you have to go and look at their testimonials. You have to hear about what the people say who've worked with them, because that is where the proof of the pudding is. Do your research and look at what people are saying about you. You know, you are getting amazing results, and I'm somebody who can vouch for that as well.
Bless you. Thank you so much, Caroline. There's going to be people watching this, either live or on the replay, who are all at different stages in their businesses. There'll be some people who've got a business idea, but they haven't quite got it off the ground. There'll be people who are already kind of well versed in business and perhaps making consistent 5K months. There'll be people who are already making 6 figures and beyond. So do you feel like, with your experience of working with me, but also with working with your own clients, that money consciousness is applicable at all levels?
Oh, absolutely. Because it's interesting, isn't it? It doesn't matter. You know, I used to tell myself when I hit a certain number, then that was it. It was fine and it was done and I had it sort of taken care of. But every time you're scaling and up leveling your business, other things come up. So you need to have those foundations around money consciousness right. Otherwise, they just flare up and flare up. And the money consciousness things that I'm tackling now as I scale my business to another level is something glad I've got the foundations that I have with you. So yes, it's absolutely applicable. And it's not just applicable, it's essential. I really wish we were teaching this stuff in schools, because it's transformational, you know, and I'm going to teach it to my children.
Oh yeah, for sure. And my little one is learning quickly. 6 months in, she's still doing all the things. On the masterclass that we're doing together, now, obviously, we're going to focus predominantly on the theatre founder aspect with the masterclass that I'm doing with you. But what would you have to offer people who are already established in their businesses? Do you think they'll benefit from the masterclass that we do together?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't just work with people who are starting out in their business. I work with them at all levels. So I work with people who have even got multi-million pound turnovers, because for me, it's really important around the mindset. So I want to get in, and anything that needs to be cleared out and got rid of in terms of old conditioning, things that are blocking you, that is what I want to work on. And that's applicable no matter where you are with your business. Another thing that I think is really important, and we're going to talk about when I come in and do the session, is things around boundaries, around structure. I'm obsessive about the success habits that people have. I read everything I can possibly get my hands on, and I want to teach some of it. I want to teach people what you need to be doing in order to create success, because it isn't, you know, it doesn't just happen by luck. You have to build it on purpose, don't you? And there are things that you can do and things that you can apply in your life and routines that you can have in your day to make sure that you're giving yourself the best start.
Absolutely. It's that taking the personal responsibility bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely is.
And I think that's a huge part of consciousness. And I know even in the coaching chats that we've had, and we're both super honest with our clients. We're both human. So we will say, listen, we have our off days, we have our down days, we have those moments of ego kicking in and the negative emotions kicking in and just feeling like we're in procrastination station and we can't get anywhere. But would you agree that applying money consciousness and applying that personal responsibility means that we stay less often in procrastination station and we are like actively moving towards the abundance, the financial freedom, and growing with exponential speed?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the important thing about consciousness is you can catch yourself before it spirals, because it's very, very easy to get in a rut and then allow it to just snowball. You know, we've all been there where we wake up in the morning, we stub our toe, we decide it's going to be a bad day, it gets worse and worse, it's a bad week, it's a bad month, it's a bad year. And it is quite easy to get on that trajectory. And what the consciousness does is it allows you to pull yourself back from that and say, actually, I'm going to challenge my way that I'm approaching this, the way my thought patterns around it, that things that are triggering me. And it really allows you to step back and snap yourself out of it. And you and I have done this a lot together, is that when the ego steps in or the fear, then I'm now able to very, very quickly turn it around. And then guess what? It's immediately reflected in my business.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's reflected in your life as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, in all areas. I mean, you can apply it to everything, can't you?
Yeah. And I think this is really important to note, because as much as it's a money consciousness method, the first module is all about the consciousness. And actually that module has so many bonuses, like knock-on effects in business, in life, because you're not just applying it to your money, it's consciousness training. So
Yeah.
you're applying it to your relationships, you're applying it to your career, you're applying it to your kids, like we mentioned,
Yeah.
you're applying it to your friendship circles, your social obligations, your commitments, your boundaries, your habits, your mindset, your thinking, like
Yeah.
all the things that create the reality of the world that we live in. Consciousness is the key to all of that, is it not?
And it's the greatest gift, you know, it's the greatest gift that you can give yourself, your ability to be able to consciously choose the thoughts that serve you. And I read an article the other day about the fundamental way to change your life is to change the story that you tell yourself. And how do you do that? You consciously pick thoughts that serve you, and it makes a massive difference. Because I know for me, when I was in the corporate world, I was so caught up in the story of all the reasons I couldn't leave and how scary it was. And actually I had to change that story. I had to consciously pick thoughts that served the direction I wanted to go. And then it's like a total game changer.
Yeah, it is. And the more you do it, the quicker it gets. So
Yeah.
one experience might take you a whole month to move out of it and back into a better frequency. And then the next time it's a week, and then the next time it's 3 days, and then it's 24 hours. And then you get to the point you and I are at where you spin that consciousness around in seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's an amazing gift. And I love that you use that, because I think actually on the sales page for the program I write, money is a tool, consciousness is a gift, money consciousness is freedom.
There you go. You've nailed it. There you are.
There we go. And that is
it myself.
So for everybody watching who's just jumping on, watching replay, this is Caroline. She's coming to do a guest expert masterclass with everybody who signs up for the money consciousness method. She's going to be talking us through mindset. She's going to be talking us through business strategy. She's going to be really, really challenging you where you're at to help you create the kind of insane results that she gets with her clients and that I get with her, so that we can all shift into a place of abundance, because of course we all have a right and responsibility to abundance. Now, Caroline, before I let you go, obviously this isn't just about the joint masterclass that we're doing together. All of my clients, I love to support, I love to big you up, I love to shout you out, I love to give you all the opportunities. So guys, if you're really drawn in by what Caroline's been sharing with us, I really encourage you to go check out her website. Do you want to just tell us, Caroline, where they can go, what you're offering at the minute, what kind of programs, masterminds, one-to-one packages you've got available at the moment, and let them know how they can get in contact with you if they want to come and work with you?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Harriet. So if you want to find out a bit more about me, you can head to www.caroline-britton.com, and there's absolutely loads of stuff on there. So I've got 2 amazing downloadables. One is the 5 inside secrets to setting up your business, which is well worth a listen. And I am running a couple of things at the moment. So I'm just about to start my June intake for Fear to Founder, which is an 8-week intensive program, which takes you from that fear, that lack of confidence, that business idea, and gets it into action incredibly quickly. But it's not just a business program. I look at everything. I look at your attitude towards money, life, anger, resentment. We do a lot of soul work, one-to-one coaching with me, the work. So that has just launched. I've got 7 people through the program so far. I cap it at 10. So there's 3 spaces left. So that starts June the 17th. I have got 1 spot left on a VIP 12-month coaching package where you get to work one-to-one with me for a whole year, and I take you to Ibiza, and you get training with this amazing PT who is based over here, who trains all the stars. So I've got some really exciting stuff coming up. But if you go on my website, you can have a look, or you can drop me a note on Instagram at Caroline Britton Coaching, and we can jump on a call and we can chat, and I can hear more about where you're at and what I might be able to do to help you get to where you want to be.
Love it. She's absolutely killing it, guys. I know I'm slightly biased because she is my client and she is coming to do a masterclass with the Money Conscious Method, but she is shit hot at what she does. And I have bullied her and pushed her into becoming the best possible coach that she can be. And she is absolutely phenomenal. So I really can vouch for it. Please go check her out. If you want the Harriet and Caroline magic all rolled into one, we're doing the masterclass for the Money Consciousness Method which enrollment closes for next week. So if you're sat on the fence and you needed that extra shove and you realize you're not just getting me and all the consciousness stuff, you're actually getting Caroline as well, go sign up, mcm.askharriet.co.uk. If you've got questions, DM me. My thumbs might fall off, but I will get back to you because I've been DMing you all day. You can also now book in for a call with one of my team to talk about the money consciousness method. If you're unsure, if you've got questions, if you're on the fence, yes, I will put a link to the class in the comments. Who is that messaging me? Christine, no problem. I'll pop the link over to you, my love. mcm.askharriet.co.uk. One more time for Caroline, guys, just pop her a little message and say thank you so much for her time. I really appreciate you coming on here. Can't wait to do our masterclass. It's going to be magical. We're going to transform so many lives. We are. So super excited for it. Thank you again so much. I love you to bits. And I'm so proud.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure, darling. Speak to you soon.
Okay. Speak
bye,
to you soon.
Everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.